Hello friends, fans, and foes, I'm Fancy Fatale and welcome to my video. Today we're going to be talking about common pitfalls when writing or creating a comic or story. To start off, we have the avoidance of even starting a project because you think your skill isn't the best. While it is important to make sure you're confident in your style and have a good grasp on your skill, you don't want this fear of not being perfect keeping you from ever starting it. You can only get the story out by creating it, and people can only love it once they see it. Otherwise, it's all in your head. It is also important to make sure you're comfortable enough with your skill or your style that you're willing to put it out there for people to scrutinize. If you don't think you're well developed enough for that, I wouldn't say start the full project because you might have to redo things later and it would make a lot of hassle. But don't feel afraid if you've already done this. Revising is not a big deal. Another one is biting off more than you can chew. While some artists are too afraid to start projects, some artists are too excited and start far too quickly before they have prepared everything they need to do. This is why it's good to pace yourself, test out bigger goals, take a break and test out smaller goals such as do 1 page per week and then try to increase it to 3 or more and see how much you can handle. Other ways people can burn out from working on comic projects is to try and do a full-fledged weekly comic before they're ready. That is why it's a good idea to test out your style in comic by making smaller things such as mini comics or a few panels or a short story before you do your full story. Giving up when it gets hard. At the moment that you feel overwhelmed or when you don't see the reactions from people that you are hoping to get, it is important to remember why you are creating the comic or story. It is for the audience, or is it for the fans, or is it for you? For a bigger purpose, or whoever will read the comic, or is it just maybe reach one person or a million? Is it just to have an impact? You have to decide what keeps you going and what will keep you going when you feel disappointed. If it's not for you, you need to accept defeat and decide what really drives you. But if you still feel motivated, you need to rest, avoid burnout, and come back refreshed. To help you out here, I have fun practices, and I've already mentioned a few of these prior. Mini comics. I have tens of hundreds of these that I did prior to starting any full-fledged comic on my website, and they're all on my Instagram. Mini comics are a good method of practicing setting up an issue or a joke, having a punchline or a climax, and then an aftermath or a reaction. This is a smaller way of practicing storytelling. Visual storytelling and a panel structure, even in smaller square panels, can train you for the bigger stories with longer page layouts. If you can tell a story in 4 panels, you can expand on that into 22 or 30 pages for a common issue length. My final one is practicing with collaborations. Although I have not worked on many collaborations due to the fact I'm always busy with my own works, ever since I started art, I've noticed a lot of artists love to draw but have no purpose or goal or story in their mind. When you lack the characters, the story, or motivation, it is wise to work with someone else who does and improve your art skills or maybe observe their writing to improve your own. You can get motivated by a friend very quickly, and bouncing ideas off of someone or just working on your skill in a project that's not fully yours will help you build a portfolio for when you finally do make your own thing. Final suggestion to avoid the common pitfalls and mistakes with comics is to make sure you do the general work and footing behind a comic before starting it. Work on some concept art, character designs, locations, maybe comic interactions and how the characters react to each other, a write-up of their backstories and general description. Not all these are required, but it does make you feel more confident once you start developing that story. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you can think of anything else that is a pitfall you've come across when trying to create a story or comic, let me know in the comments section below. Or if you think of more practices to keep yourself motivated and creative, please also suggest them below. If you didn't already know, I have a website called www.fancyfatale.com where you can read my webcomic based on D&D campaigns. If you'd like to support me, I also have Patreon, Coffee, and all those other stuff. But for now, I'd appreciate it if you just liked, comment, or subscribe in this video to help boost it and get it to more people. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.